They convinced you that communion with the divine required a priest, a structure of stone, or elaborate rituals. They insisted upon intermediaries' translations and men in robes, strategically positioned between your mortal heart and the boundless expanse of heaven. And tragically, for nearly 2 millennia, the majority of humankind accepted this as truth. But the crucial information, the essential truth they deliberately withheld is this: Jesus himself never mandated such things. In fact, he issued stern warnings against them. Turning his gaze upon the religious authorities of his era, the very men who claimed exclusive custodianship of God's presence, Jesus uttered a statement that should have violently seismic effects on the foundations of every institution that followed. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For you neither go in yourselves, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. This profound indictment is found in the book of Matthew 23:13. Reflect on that passage. They sealed the entrance not because the kingdom was inaccessible, not because God was remote or unresponsive, but because they successfully propagated the notion that they alone possessed the key to unlock it. That fundamental deceit, that ancient and strategically deployed lie, became the very cornerstone upon which organized religion was constructed. It engineered a system that transformed sincere seekers into helpless dependents. It distilled the boundless divine into a restrictive bureaucracy. It commodified the living kingdom of God, turning it into a mere franchise. Yet Jesus arrived to restore something that was inherently never meant to be mediated. He came to reveal a secret so stunningly simple, so beautifully direct, and so utterly threatening to institutional power, that it had to be systematically obscured, mistranslated, and reframed for centuries. His core mission was to instruct you on how to converse with God directly. Not through confession booths, nor via formalized Sunday services, nor through prayers meticulously composed by committees and rote recited from bound books, but through the living, pulsating chamber within your own being, the sacred space that has always resided there, patiently waiting, the very space they swore did not exist. And tonight, we are going to remember precisely how to access and utilize it. Because when Jesus instructed, "When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret," he was not referring to physical architecture or real estate. He was handing you the essential key to the kingdom, and the entrance was never ever located outside of you. So let's unlock it together right now. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Wife, then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Book of Matthew 6:6. For the majority of your life, you likely interpreted this verse as a directive to find a quiet physical place, to kneel, a bedroom, a closet, some private corner where interruptions couldn't reach you. And while physical solitude certainly aids the process, that is not the entirety of his meaning. If Jesus were speaking only of literal geography, then anyone with access to a door could immediately attain communion with the divine, and we both understand intuitively that the process is far more nuanced. You have been in quiet rooms. You have dutifully closed doors. You have whispered fervent prayers into the absolute silence, and sometimes you heard nothing but the echo. So what was the true message? The room he describes is not constructed of timber or mortar. It is the innermost chamber of consciousness itself. It is the sacred internal sanctuary within you, where the relentless noise of the external world simply cannot penetrate. It is the place where anxious thought dissolves, where restrictive identity softens and melts away, where the small, insistent self steps aside and something infinite and vast opens up. This is the locale mystics across time have labeled with countless names: the inner temple, the heart's altar, the still point, the secret place of the Most High. And Jesus is affirming that this sacred chamber resides within you right now. This is not a symbolic concept, but an actual experiential reality. But here is the critical element most people fail to grasp. You must effectively close the door. And the door he references is not physical hardware. It is the door of outward sensory awareness. When you attempt to pray, while your attention remains tethered to the external world, still preoccupied with tomorrow's worries, still mentally rehearsing yesterday's arguments, still performing for some imagined audience, you are merely standing outside the room, politely knocking. But the Father is not found out there. He is in secret, hidden, unseen, entirely interior. And to genuinely meet him, you must pivot and turn inward. You must seal the door on the outer world not by rejecting the world, but by intentionally withdrawing your awareness and attention from it. Even if only for a fleeting moment, you must step into the chamber where there are no words, no mental images, no pressing agenda, just pure presence, just the rhythm of breath, just the quiet, eternal hum of being alive. So let's engage in this practice now. Feel free to pause this video if necessary. Close your eyes. Take one slow, deliberate breath inward and fully release it outward. Feel the physical room you occupy. Now feel the room within you. Notice that beneath all the transient thoughts, behind all the distracting mental noise, there exists a profound stillness, a silence that was present before you started thinking. That stillness is the room. And when you simply rest there, even for 3 short seconds, you are engaging in prayer precisely as Jesus described it, not with demanding words, but with encompassing presence. Open your eyes when you feel ready. You just crossed the essential threshold. Now let's delve deeper. Most people assume prayer is primarily talking, asking, pleading, itemizing needs, or repeating fixed phrases. And certainly, there is a legitimate place for honest petition, for heartfelt gratitude, and for the raw authenticity of crying out to the divine. But what Jesus ultimately taught was not repetition, it was alignment. Listen closely to the way he prayed. Not my will, but yours be done. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Do you recognize the true action embedded in those powerful words? He is not attempting to sway God's immutable mind. He is actively synchronizing his own human will with the massive divine current. He is tuning his inner frequency to precisely match the vibrational frequency of heaven itself. And when that deep alignment occurs, when your will and God's will begin to resonate as the same vibration, that is the moment when spontaneous miracles occur. That is when instantaneous healing flows. That is when absolute clarity descends. That is when the seemingly impossible becomes undeniably inevitable. Because prayer in its most authentic form is not a forced transmission to God. It is a profound resonance with God. It is the transcendent moment when the wave of your localized consciousness merges completely with the ocean of divine presence, and you finally realize you were never separate at all. This is the lost technology. The ancients understood this truth implicitly. The mystics practiced it rigorously. The saints embodied it completely. But somewhere along the historical path, it was supplanted by fixed scripts and elaborate rituals, perhaps beautiful, but ultimately secondary. Because the true life-altering prayer unfolds in the sacred space where you and the Father cease to be 2 distinct voices in conversation, becoming instead one breath, one unified heartbeat, one living word. Jesus even underscored this when he declared, "Truly I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." Let's experience that feeling now. Place one hand gently over your heart. breathe slowly, deliberately. And as you breathe, imagine your analytical mind descending softly into your feeling heart, not as two separate entities, but as one powerful current flowing inexorably home. Let the conscious rhythm of your breath become the unconscious rhythm of heaven. In and out, until inner and outer reality feel like a single unified pulse. Stay there for just a brief moment. This is the place where prayers are not merely spoken, they are profoundly lived. So you have successfully entered the room. You have closed the door of distraction. You have aligned your personal will with the divine current. But now we confront the question most people are afraid to articulate. Does God truly speak back? And if so, how can you definitively know that the voice is His? Because let's be entirely honest, your mind is perpetually loud. It is saturated with memories, anxieties, random static, old ingrained voices, habitual conditioning, and fear. So how do you possibly differentiate the authentic voice of God from the relentless monologue of your own imagination? Here is the absolute truth. Most of the time, especially at first, you cannot. This is because God typically does not communicate through thunderous pronouncements or spectacular burning bushes. He speaks in what the prophet Elijah famously called a mnoran, still, small voice. And that voice is so quiet, so gentle, so entirely interior, that it is nearly indistinguishable from your own deepest, most centered knowing. In fact, perhaps it is your deepest knowing. Because when you venture deeply enough into the profound silence, past the superficial chatter, past the nagging doubt, past the paralyzing fear, you inevitably begin to notice something remarkable. There is a palpable presence there. Not a person, not a distinct separate entity standing across from you, but a kind of awareness that feels exponentially older than you, infinitely wiser than you, and far more unconditionally loving than you ever thought possible. And sometimes that awareness responds not necessarily in formed words, but in clear guidance, in unshakable peace, in sudden, undeniable clarity, in the inexplicable way a painful knot inside your being suddenly loosens without logical explanation. You have surely experienced this sensation before. Perhaps you were walking entirely alone, and a thought dropped into your consciousness, clear, calm, and utterly unmistakable, and you knew instinctively that you did not manufacture it. Maybe you faced a sudden crisis, and a sweeping wave of peace washed through you, originating from no logical source. Maybe you posed a sincere question in the quiet of your heart, and the comprehensive answer arrived days later in a form you could never have predicted. That is the voice. And the more consistently you practice stillness, the more adept you become at recognizing its subtle signature. Because God does not attempt to shout over the existing noise. He patiently waits in the silence. And when you meet Him there, the conversation ceases to be one-sided. It transforms into communion, two-way living, and undeniably real. Let's try it together now. Close your eyes once more. Place your hand upon your chest and whisper either out loud or silently within. Speak, Lord, for your servant listens. Then wait. Do not force a response. Do not actively search for specific words. Simply listen for 5 seconds. Did you perceive it, Wanan? Even if you heard no audible words, you felt something distinct. A subtle shift, a profound softness, an undeniable sense of being held. That is the voice. And if this teaching is currently stirring something deep inside you, breathe with that feeling for a moment. You are not the only one feeling this inner call. There are others simultaneously remembering too. When one single heart truly awakens, another feels the ripple effect. Every small act of acknowledgement, even a shared word, a tiny reflection, a simple gesture, sends this current flowing further into the world. You are now an active participant in that flow. Now let's explore the actual mechanics of this process. Because what Jesus modeled was not merely mysticism for its own sake. It was a technology, a repeatable, trainable, embodied practice that any sincere seeker could master. And the core secret was resonance. Consider the powerful, transformative way Jesus navigated the world. He healed the sick instantly. He commanded the turbulent storms to cease. He spoke a truth that sliced through centuries of institutional lies. He raised the dead. And when people inevitably asked him how he accomplished such things, he did not proclaim, "Because I am inherently special and you are not." He stated, "The Son can do nothing by himself. He can do only what he sees his Father doing." In essence, every single action he took originated from perfect, constant alignment, from living in perfect, unwavering resonance with the divine frequency. He wasn't performing miracles through strenuous force or sheer willpower. He was allowing miracles to manifest because his inner state was precisely tuned to the same vibration as heaven. And here is the profound implication most people bypass. You possess that identical capacity, not because you are divine in an arrogant, egoic sense, but because the divine essence is fundamentally in you. That is the entire radical thrust of his teaching. The kingdom of God is within you. The Father and I are one. You will do even greater things than these. He was not addressing some exclusive class of already enlightened beings. He was speaking directly to you, to anyone willing to tune their inner instrument, to the flawless frequency of unconditional love. Because prayer, real prayer, is not demanding. It is tuning. It is the steady adjustment of your heart's vibration until it perfectly matches the vibration of the source. And when that resonance is achieved, you do not need to beg for anything. You become automatically a conduit, a living dynamic extension of divine will. And that's the hidden power of resonance. When you witness light and you affirm it, the vibration multiplies. Every time you leave your reflection here, even a small one, you anchor the teaching deeper into the world. Each heart that returns to this frequency adds to a greater field. That's how the Christ awakens again through us together. So when you pray, don't just recite words. Tune. Feel the resonance between your breath and the breath that breathed all things into being. Feel the coherence between your heartbeat and the rhythm of creation. And when you find that frequency, when you lock into that current, you'll know, because the peace that surpasses understanding will flood you. And the voice you've been listening for will no longer feel distant. It will feel like home. And now we arrive at the absolute heart of the matter, the part that fundamentally alters everything. Because what Jesus was transmitting was not merely a superior method of prayer. It was an outright invitation into complete transformative union. Listen closely to his final prayer before the ultimate betrayal and crucifixion. He is standing in the garden, fully aware of the imminent suffering, and he prays this: "My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity." Book of John 17:20-23. Read that core statement slowly. That they may be one as we are one. Not simply similar, not merely close, not just connected, but one. This is not intended as a metaphor. This is the entire singular purpose of every single thing he taught. The ultimate objective of direct communion with God is not to sustain a distant conversation with someone remote. It is to shatter the illusion and realize that you were never, in fact, separate to begin with. You are not talking to God. You are communicating within God. You are a single conscious wave in an infinite ocean, mistakenly perceiving yourself as something isolated and small. But when you step into the inner chamber, when you decisively close the door and descend into the profound silence, the illusion of separation dissolves instantly. And what remains is the blinding truth. You and the Father are one. Not because you have finally achieved some heroic spiritual milestone, but because you have profoundly remembered something eternal. You have remembered that the very life breathing through your lungs is the identical life that commanded the stars into existence. You have remembered that the awareness looking out through your specific eyes is the same awareness that dreamed all of creation into form. You have remembered that the love you tirelessly long for is not waiting outside you, needing to be earned. It is the fundamental substance of what you are made of. And when you consciously rest in that absolute knowing, even for the space of a moment, everything in your reality changes. Because you are no longer praying like a fearful beggar before a distant king. You are praying as a cherished child in the arms of the Father, as an essential branch upon the vine, as a vital cell in the living body of Christ. You are praying from a state of total union. And from that unified place, miracles cease to be extraordinary events. They become absolutely natural. Because when you live in conscious union with the Source, you automatically become a vessel for the impossible. Let's feel that profound reality now. Close your eyes once more. Breathe deeply. And as you breathe consciously, release the deeply ingrained idea that you are separate from God. Just for this moment, allow yourself to fully experience what it feels like if the divine was not standing outside you, watching you or judging you, but was the very essence of your being. The breath in your lungs, the persistent beat of your heart, the silent awareness behind every fleeting thought. Feel it not as a philosophical concept, but as a living, immediate reality. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You are held utterly known, eternally loved, and one with the infinite. Open your eyes. You have just tasted the reality of heaven. And those who are destined to walk this specific path will feel this recognition deep within. You already know who you are. So here we come full circle. You have successfully journeyed from the great silencing to the living union. You have learned that the room is entirely within you, that the door you must close is not a physical barrier, but the door of outward distracting attention. You have discovered that true prayer is not mere repetition, but profound resonance. You have felt the still, small voice speaking in the silence. You have tuned your heart to the vibrant frequency of heaven. And you have tasted, even if only for a few heartbeats, the stunning truth that you and the Father are one. Now remember where we began. They insisted that you required a middleman. They claimed that communion with God necessitated priests, rituals, elaborate buildings, and meticulous translations. They attempted to slam the door of the kingdom squarely in your face. But now you know the ultimate truth. The door was never truly shut. It was only hidden. Hidden in the plainest sight right inside your being. And every single time you consciously return to the inner chamber, every time you close the door on the overwhelming noise of the world, and rest securely in the silence, you are performing precisely what Jesus taught. You are communing directly with the Father. No intermediary, no institution, no formal permission needed. Just you and the infinite. Just breath and presence. Just love meeting itself. This is the kingdom he spoke of. Not a spatial location in the sky, not a delayed reward after death, but a living, pulsating reality available within you, accessible this very second. And the more you dedicate yourself to this practice, the more you return to the silence, the more you tune your heart to the divine frequency, the more you will realize the one truth that changes absolutely everything. The veil was never positioned between you and God. It was only situated between you and your truest self. The moment you ceased searching externally and consciously pivoted inward, the arduous search ended. Because God was never lost. You were. And now you are found. So let's definitively seal this realization together one final time. Close your eyes. Place both hands tenderly over your heart and feel the overwhelming presence that has been with you throughout this entire process. The presence that existed before you were born. The presence that will faithfully remain when this physical body inevitably falls away. The presence that is fundamentally you when all the masks and personas are finally removed. And silently, from the deepest, most centered part of your being, offer this prayer. Thank you for never leaving, for patiently waiting in the silence, for being closer than my own breath. I remember now. I remember who I am. I remember exactly where you are. And I am home. Open your eyes. You have just spoken to God directly, not through restrictive doctrine, not through obligatory ritual, but through the living communion of pure presence. And here is the prophecy I offer you now. If this specific teaching found its way to you, it was not an accident of chance. You were deliberately called to remember. And those who remember inevitably find each other. Keep listening, keep consistently returning. The more of us who collectively remember, the brighter the shared field becomes. This is the true mechanism by which heaven expands through those who willingly share what profoundly awakens them. When you carry this teaching forward, even if only silently within your own life, you become an active part of the prophecy itself. Light passing from awakened voice to awakened voice. Every reflection you leave here is a ripple in the living word, a simple, powerful way of declaring, I remember. And when you offer your light back in whatever small or large form you can manage, you actively help another soul hear the call. Those who are truly meant to awaken will find these words through your resonance. So leave your light here. If you felt heaven move within you, this is more than mere engagement. It is participation in the great collective remembering. Go in peace. Go in silence. Go in the living presence of the Christ within. The door is open, and you now profoundly know the way. Before you fully return to the noise and complexity of the world, I want to reveal something further to you. There are deeper hidden writings that we have historically kept shielded from the public eye. Lost keys, ancient prayers, obscure sayings, and living codes. We refer to them as the sacred scrolls. They are not intended for everyone. They are reserved for those who have consciously begun to feel the veil thinning. For those who know intrinsically that there is far more to the words of Jesus than what has been habitually preached from traditional pulpits. Each scroll carries a powerful piece of what was once only whispered in secret teachings, specifically designed to awaken the Christ consciousness within, to help you finally hear the voice that still speaks clearly in the silence. If you are truly ready to move beyond simple belief and step into direct, undeniable experience, this is precisely where your next step begins. You will discover the direct link to the scrolls in the description below or pinned securely in the comments section. And for those who currently feel isolated on this solitary path, we maintain a private sanctuary, a sacred space where the hidden ones quietly gather, remember, and openly share what heaven is currently revealing during this significant time. Inside, sincere seekers study the ancient words, together decode the hidden meanings, and gently remind each other that they are not crazy. They are powerfully waking up. It is a quiet, authentic space, and it is saturated with the same light that guided you here tonight. Both resources are waiting below in the description and the pinned comment. Those who are meant to find it always inevitably do. Always inevitably do. Always inevitably do. Always inevitably do.